Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit, live here from PAX 2012, and it's my pleasure to bring you much more Torchlight 2, some new content you have not seen. I'm joined, of course, by Travis, project lead on Torchlight 2 from Runic Games. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, so what are we going to be seeing today?
So we've got everyone here at PAX playing Act 2 of Torchlight 2. This picks up right after where the beta left off. We have all the classes available, all of the changes that we've made to the game since the beta went live. This is our build from about 2 days ago, and we're only 18 days from launch, so this is pretty close to the final stuff.
Yeah, you said we're going to announce our launch date at PAX, and then you announced your launch date before PAX, but...
Yeah, I like to tell people in forums first.
Oh, wow.
Anybody who's willing to come to your forum and refresh over and over and over and over at 10:30 p.m. really does deserve to know.
Right, now let's pick a class. Well, you know, I like the Engineer with the Hammer. That's pretty good. Outlander we've seen quite a lot of before. We've seen a bit of the MMH, Berserker. Are there any specific changes made to a lot of these classes that would kind of make you shove me towards one of them and say, hey, look, this is cool?
Oh, I love the Berserker, but I got to say that the Engineer's honestly the office favorite at this point. All of them have had just a lot of new skills that weren't available in the beta. All of the skills have been touched rather significantly since we added a tier bonus system.
Yep.
And so any of them's worth a play.
Let's do Engineer then. Nice big hammer. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Jumping on to land mode. Yes, it does have that. And I think we'll jump into this game. Okay, so we've seen Act 1, and Act 1 was very much frozen tundra. This is quite different.
Yeah, we've got a lot of desert regions here. There's two very distinct areas to Act 2. One is more of kind of a dune-covered area, and then the second is a dried-out ocean bed with lots of old derelict boats sticking out of the earth.
First things first, I must sock it.
Oops, sorry. We're starting in the city of Zarafesh, which is the second major town hub in the game. Got a few goodies here, some kind of janked together characters we put together for people to play at PAX.
Let's have a quick look through skills. Now this is entirely different from what we saw.
It is entirely different.
Yeah, you've actually completely redone the UI from the last time we had a chance to see it at E3.
One of the main complaints we had during the beta was that a lot of the skills felt sort of like one-point wonders. Why do I really want to invest any more than I already have? So what we ended up doing was adding a tier bonus system so that at every 5 points you dump into a skill, there's some sort of substantive change that is not just a percentage increase. That can vary pretty wildly between the skills, and some are more fancy than others.
Yep.
And you do not get those bonuses for passives. But we think it does make it a little bit more interesting to do long-term investment in a skill. We've also done just a lot of skill balancing in general as far as the way we increase mana costs and responses to all the balance feedback we got during the beta. And there's at least 20 skills that were not seen in the beta that are now all fully available in the game.
Indeed, we'll have a quick look at a few things. That's force field right there, spider mines.
Not my favorite.
Engineer's an interesting mix actually, because you've got a very gadget-orientated character that can either be huge damage or very tanky as well.
Yeah, it's been kind of a nice mix, and it's got a little bit of party support, which is kind of fun.
There we go. All right, let's kill something.
Let's kill things.
Sounds like a plan. Talk to this giant chicken.
Buck, buck.
See what it's got to say for itself.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Story, slaughter the demons.
Oh, there's another addition. We actually have a respec vendor at this point in the game.
Okay.
Now, we still do want you to commit to stuff, so the compromise that we settled on was the last 3 points that you've spent in skills you're allowed to respec. So you can do a bit of a try before you buy. We think it's a pretty legitimate complaint that I have no idea what this skill does, and if I'm dissatisfied, I feel like I wasted my point. So you can always roll back the last 3, and only the last 3. Yeah. So we still require you to commit in the long term.
Sure.
This also kind of solves the problem we have where nobody likes to feel that their first point was spent for them. So when you start the game with 1 skill point, people tend to be a little ginchy about that.
Yeah. I think that's one of the hardest things to do aside from naming your character.
We also unified our waypoint system now. We don't have town portal scrolls anymore. We have waypoint portals.
Okay.
You can open a portal anywhere if you have a scroll, and in doing so, you can travel to any waypoint you've ever been to before. You can travel to the towns. You can travel directly to other people or their own portals. So ideally, this makes it a heck of a lot easier to get where you want to go when you're playing with friends.
All right, let's accept the quest. High value target. I'm going to follow the mage, who clearly knows where she's going. I certainly do not. I'm just the man with the hammer. And the stoat. That's why not.
Small army of of robots. There's Wonder's dog, Falcor, up there.
Yeah. There we go. It's going to take several hours, I think, for Wanda to respec her character into what she wants.
Are you waiting for us?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's just
We're
all
ready to
go
roll.
out.
Let's
How
do
do we
it.
go?
I also have unspent stamp points. I need to sort that out. I keep forgetting that.
We left a couple floating when people got in, so if they wanted to try out a skill that wasn't currently mapped, they could do so.
It would be nice. Skills. We could put a few more points in here. So we've got tier 1 bonus for Seismic Slam for 5 points. So that's always good, and it actually indicates the tiers here as well, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Could maybe put a couple more points into heavy lifting. There we go. And I need to upgrade my stats as well. That is... I'm trying to remember which
I think
key
it's
it is.
C.
C. Character
C.
panel, of course. Why would it not be? All right. More damage. That's my priority. All right, let's rock and roll. Wanda's already wandered off. Ah, there we go. Excellent. So we get to see just a little bit of high-level combat. Now, you're getting pretty close to launch, so the chances are you kind of know how many acts you're going to be having now.
Yeah, there are exactly 4 acts. There's 3 primary acts and then a very small 4th act. Each act seems to be about 8-ish hours to get through as compared to the original Torchlight, which was about 8 hours to complete altogether.
Yeah.
We got a 100 level cap. You should finish the main campaign about 50. And then you basically have 2 options. You can either choose to do New Game Plus and wrap around and start at level 50 and go through again, kind of a classic New Game Plus setup, or you can hang around at the end of the game in the random map room where you can purchase or find kind of small dungeons that'll have a champion or boss at the bottom, and you can do those for increasingly awesome loot and further investment in skills.
Indeed you can. And of course, there is the possibility of modding. You guys actually pretty much ready to go with the modding sport from launch.
Yeah, we'll be releasing the modding tools some unannounced number of weeks after we release the game, kind of depending on what we're dealing with after the launch. We are going to do Steam Workshop support, so ideally that'll make it a lot easier for people to distribute what they mod this time out.
Yeah, that's actually a brand new announcement. You guys only just said that, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
I wish to fish. I'm wasting time.
Kablam!
Delicious tunnel sharks. We must eat them. All right. We are not here to fish. We're here to slaughter. A tiny little army of spider mines. That's a lot of gold hidden under that pile of bones. Yeah. I suppose if you're going to hide gold, putting it under a pile of bones is not a terrible idea.
It's like a lot of people putting their money in mayonnaise jars and burying them in the backyard.
That's the first place you look. Never look under the corpses. So you're definitely maintaining the previously rather quick speed of the original. You hardly plod around in this game.
We did do a few targeting changes after the beta. One problem we had that was pretty common was if you're moving really fast and something else is moving really fast and you're approaching one another, it's really hard to click on the thing that is not where it used to be. So we now dynamically scale the hitboxes around other units based on the differing velocities, which makes it subtly easier to click on what you intended to click on.
Indeed.
The other kind of under the hood addition we did was we added skill queuing. So while looping some skill that you got with a button held, you can pop another one off in the middle in sequence without having to wait until this one finishes and switch over, which makes it easier to do combos.
Yeah, that's always good to do. I think fluidity to the combat probably has got to be a priority over everything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not really interested in realism or anything along those lines. I've got a big hammer. My hammer's on fire. Everything I hit with my hammer is now on fire. So I'm more interested in that, honestly. Just smashing our way through here.
Basilisk. Basilisk will paralyze you, which is always fun.
Unless I hit it hard with the hammer.
Unless you hit it hard with the hammer
Which turns to be a universal solution to everything.
We like simple solutions.
Yes, I thank the Lord that you decided not to put puzzles in this game. That would have been a terrible thing. Please, God, no.
There are some tiny optional puzzles for secret rooms in a few places, but
I can accept that.
They usually involve flipping this lever and watching something move and flipping another lever.
Yeah, that's not really too big a deal. My puny brain can deal with that. Just. Take some delicious items. What have we got? Are they any good?
Ooh, that's actually better.
Yes, it is. No, I don't care about my dog. Or stoat, or ferret, or whatever the hell it is. All right, there we go. So we shall equip.
We also added a sword inventory button here. because everyone seemed to want it.
That is
it'll dump all
superbly
your
useful.
gems toward the end, and everything else categorized by type.
Yeah. I'm very much glad. That actually is better if I soak it, I think, isn't it? That's significantly higher
Absolutely.
damage. Yeah. We'll have that. Need to find some gems to put in it later. Pop this on for the moment. All right, that works.
Another thing we've got in here, you weren't able to see it in the beta, but the item combination system is back in.
Okay.
We kind of did away with the whole idea of taking gems and putting them together and making bigger gems because we felt it was generally kind of tedious and meant that you didn't put gems in anything. So instead, we've tried to come up with item combinations that are more useful and get rid of stuff that you didn't want anyway. So, for instance, if you're trying to put together a set of items and you have two set items that don't conform, you can combine them and you'll get a random set item.
Okay.
Or if you have an unsocketed item and two gems you don't want, you can combine them and automatically socket the item.
We have no golden key. That makes me so sad.
Something around here is bound to have a golden key.
Question is where? Well, it's getting messy around here. We'll find it, no doubt.
Ooh, it's the gold crab.
The ostentatious crustacean. That's got a crown on it.
He actually does have a crown. If you don't kill him quickly, he'll get away.
Yeah.
He came from a monstrous shrine.
Get back here. Yep. Yes. He was looking a little crabby. I'll get my coat. Nicely grabbed. All is good. We still don't have the key, I don't think, unless
Nope, no key yet.
A little bit. Nope.
There should be some sort of little flittering bat-y looking thing.
That's pretty big. All right, let's hit it.
Oh, teleporting fiend.
Naturally. I mean, why not?
With yet another fantastic randomly generated champion name, Nightfoe. Oh, that's great.
There are always some. It's just every now and again he gets some very awkward names.
We have to try and remove those. Manswallower was one of the first ones to go.
Fun for all the family.
Fun for all of the family. We also discovered that we could randomly generate some of the actual boss names, which was very, very misleading.
Oh. Less than helpful. Here, you can have some more spider mines. That is a lot of something in there. Soon to be a pile of dead everything. Hello.
Oh, God.
Force field. Health potion. Hit everything.
Hit everything. Oh, you're paralyzed.
No! I think I may have possibly overdone it just a little.
So the resurrection options are actually different in the different difficulty levels. You don't get the resurrect here option in veteran or elite difficulty. This is just normal. It's a little harder than Torchlight 1's normal, which everyone seemed to think was more infant, but...
Yeah, it was a little easy. Not so much anymore. That was a lot of guys. All right. Spider-Man's up, get my force field back on, and then we'll wander back in there and see what happens. No pun intended. Oh, okay, never mind. She's killed everything. Right. Somehow I'm not surprised by this.
Mittens. Sounds cozy.
What do we got? Minus 29 to all armor per hit. Yeah, I'll take that. Here we go. Let's keep pushing forward. It's been a fairly long development cycle for you guys. We're hearing constant iteration.
Pretty much. Honestly, at the beginning, we didn't expect it to take this long, which I guess is obvious to everybody. I think this has been 2.5 years of work at this point. It really just got down to how much content we jammed in it. We sat at the beginning and said, oh, well, we have 7 or 8 tile sets in Torchlight. We'll do this many more. We'll just multiply the time. That'll work out, right? No, not really.
Oh. I never got a chance to use a cannon in the beta.
Oh, I love the cannons.
I'm going to have a cannon.
There are a couple of nifty skills for the engineer to use with cannons. We added another called Fusillade that wasn't available in the beta. I don't know if that's available to you yet, though. I'm not sure it is.
Oh, look, I did get a skill point. So we got Flame Hammer, Ember Reach. What do I need to be looking for?
It'll probably be in construction, but I don't know if you can get not until level 35. You got a little way to go. Oh, you can get a machine gun bot now.
Oh,
I don't know those guys.
Well, that's a tough choice.
That blast cannon's actually pretty good, though, if you're actually using a cannon.
Let's do that. Let's pop that into...
Drag that down. You can
I'm just going to swap this over. There we go.
If you like, you can actually click on these slots and it'll fold out anything that can be mapped to it as kind of a quicker way to do so.
All right. Okay, let's stick with this. Wandered off again. All right. Let's get over. Not going to wait
There
for a
she
noob
goes.
like me, and I hardly blame her. All right, let's keep going. I think we've covered Torchlight 2 almost to the point where there's so little left to say about it. It's just like, Torchlight 2 is great, buy it, you idiots. That's usually a good way of putting it, but it's just really cool to see how far this game's come. I mean, we played the beta, we tried it at Gamescom last year, we saw it at E3, and now we're seeing it here at PAX, and it's just more and more and more polished every bloody time. I'm quite frankly surprised that you guys don't suffer from feature creep.
Well, we probably suffered to a certain extent. It seems like it was mostly content creep. Oh, it'd be really cool to have this extra little area.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had this?
It'd be neat. Oh, we should really have 3 or 4 acts. That would be fantastic. 4 classes, that should be simple. We had 3 before, 1 more is not so much.
Should be totally reasonable. I've got to ask at this point, what's next? I mean, you're coming up to the finish of a very long development run with Torchlight 2. What's next for Runic?
Well, we still have a few things left to do here. We've got to get the Mac port out, or they'll be at our throats. We've also got to get our modding tools out to everybody, and we have a few freebies that we think we'd like to throw out to the community as we go along. Some extra pets, or maybe some more maps, bits of this and that. I can tell you it's almost certainly not going to be an MMO.
Okay, so that's where we are now. You know what? I'm actually kind of happy to hear that, because I'm sick of seeing companies explode whenever they seem to do MMOs. It's really quite disheartening.
It's doing this as kind of an intermediate step. It's been a really good way for us to rub up against the extent of what we want to accomplish as a 30-person team. So, I mean, to be frank, I'd love to do something new that doesn't have so many preconceived notions about what it's supposed to be. With a game, an action RPG in the Diablo mold, everybody knows what they think that game should be, and is ready to tell you exactly what that is.
What it should be as well.
What it should, what it shouldn't, exactly how long it should be, and exactly what you should be able to do throughout it. It'd be nice to work on something that the people really have no preconceived notions of what it's going to be, and it's either going to be fun or not.
That will be a wonderful thing. I mean, tied to the legacy of Diablo is a blessing and a curse to some degree.
And I love these games, but this is the 4th one I've made in a row, so I'm okay for a bit.
Although you are getting pretty damn good at it.
Practice makes permanent.
I imagine it does. All right, have some of that. Get a bit more range. There we go. I need more mana. I like cannons. I think I'm just going to stick with energy. Hello, what do we got here?
A mysterious gem.
This looks like fun. Collect everything else before we do it.
There's a lot of mittens and slippers here, apparently. It's like
perhaps we found some kind of secret conspiracy regarding slippers and mittens. You never know. All right, where's that gem?
Flame chip.
I think I picked it up.
Thought you picked up a gem. Is it?
Unless it was a quest item.
Oh, maybe.
Could have been a quest item.
I don't know now.
It was purple, so.
Now I'm just confused. Unless it was that ring and just oddly named. That'll be a reward.
Yeah, it might have been that one, I guess. It could have been, but whatever. All is good. Let's keep going.
Whoa.
I want all of these things, all of them.
We did add a filter matrix of all the item types and qualities, so if there's junk you really don't want to see text for, you can now turn it off.
Nice. Handy, certainly.
Oh, Basilisk Eye. You do collect a lot of eyes in this game.
Yeah, it seems like we do.
Appear to dig them out of the skulls of every damn monster you kill.
Go away. No one is impressed. Come on, you're fighting a ferret and you're losing.
Fighting a ferret.
How intimidated are we supposed to be at this point? All right, go in the direction of the white dot. Always a good idea. This has essentially become a let's play at this point. You know, I'm okay with that. That just gives me an excuse to play more Torchlight, which will be a productivity destroyer coming forward, I think. All right, there we go. I've got a couple of questions that I'm personally curious about, actually. Throughout this development process, what do you think's been the biggest challenge when putting this game together?
Honestly, doing randomization in multiplayer is really hard. Making sure that everybody sees the exact same random thing is really difficult, especially if everything is moving quickly and there's hundreds of things going on and missiles that twist and turn and you have to do actual, like, physical impacts with things.
Yeah.
Apart from that, just balancing these kinds of games is really difficult. There's so many skills and so many monsters and so many abilities, and over the course of 100 levels, depending on where you stick your points, everyone still wants it to kind of work out. I think our philosophy at this point is it's okay if it's imbalanced for a little while, as long as it isn't forever. If I feel ridiculously overpowered for 3 or 4 levels, that's okay. It just shouldn't last until the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, arguably that's a good thing. There we go, you're going to sit down. Sadly, we're going to have to wrap this up. I would love to stay and play more, but I'm going to have to wait, like everyone else, until the bloody thing comes out, which is when?
September 20th, 18 days away.
Yep, you can currently pre-order on Steam. There are 4 packs available for even better value, and I believe you get Torchlight 1 free if you haven't already played it, if you pre-order it. So, we are in the dungeon, yep. Let's get ahead in there. I'm just looking for excuses not to go and do the next gig, but, you know... I'm afraid I can't get away with that. I'm told I'm supposed to be professional or something. Is it a totally unbiased look at the game that I want to play a ton out of? I think, to be fair, people have seen enough of Torchlight 2 to actually get a judgment on it. It's a highly polished, high-pace action RPG in the vein of the original Diablo games. It has LAN mode, it has single player, and by that I mean proper single player. It has multiplayer with a metric ton of player slots, as well as, of course, modability. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the community can come up with.
That's going to be really
something fun.
It's a very nonchalant enchanter there. Just kind of looking out over the bluff, ignoring everything.
Definitely. All right, well, I'm going to have to tear myself away. So, Travis, thank you very much once again for showing us Torchlight 2. It shall be out soon. I'll be playing it, and there'll probably be no videos for 3 weeks as a direct result.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming by.
No problem at all. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit here from PAX 2012. Torchlight 2, keep an eye out for it on Steam, and I'll see you next time.